Jermall Charlo puts 10K on Gervonta Davis' head. Picks Ryan Garcia for the victory. Wow. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, the big homie, Jermall Charlo, not Jermall, but Jermall. Every time I talk about the Charlos, I get some type of beef comment. They always tell me I don't know what I'm talking about because I can't distinguish basically two brothers from one another. My bad. But Jermall Charlo has bet 10K on Ryan Garcia to defeat Gervonta Tank Davis next weekend. And I just want to give my 2 cents on whether he's tripping or not. Alright, so that's a lot of money to be putting on Ryan Garcia, man. Me personally, I would say that this is a 50-50 fight if Ryan had better competition.
Oh, you think you too smart? Be a dude in the street, don't know much, but out here don't add up like no man.
I think his skills are there. I just don't think he's been in with the caliber of Gervonta Davis. And I don't know why, but a lot of people give Davis flack for his resume for some reason. Even in an article I recently read, they were saying that Mayweather Promotions matched him up carefully with all his opponents, so they don't feel like he's really as battle-tested as people might think he is. Listen, he's had, 28 fights. He's had 26 KOs. I mean, it don't get no more realer than that. I mean, they couldn't have matched him up with 26 cupcakes. That's impossible. And I would never call Mario Barrios a cupcake. He might not be the best fighter in the world, but I do think he's at least a step above, or you could put him on the same plateau as Ryan Garcia as far as his boxing skills and his experience within a boxing ring goes. So I would never say that he's been in there with 26 cupcakes or 28 cupcakes at all. I would never downgrade Gervonta Davis's resume like that. And I think people downgrade Ryan's resume simply because, I guess you could say, well, you'd have to feel the same way about Ryan. Why are you downgrading his resume? You can't say he fought all his opponents was cupcakes. And I would have to agree. You can't say that all his opponents are cupcakes. Let me put it like this. If Devin Haney, Shakur Stevens, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, if those are all A-level fighters, then the opponents that Gervonta Davis has been having, I won't say all 26 or 28 of them were all B-level. I'm pretty sure there was some A-level in there when he was down at the lower weight classes. But I would say 60% have been B-level fighters. Okay, so if he's fighting 60% B-level fighters, and you look at Ryan's resume, I would say that 60% of his opponents have been C-level fighters. And let's not say that he don't got some A-level and B-level competition in there, but that would be within that other 40%. I would say that 60% of his resume is C-level competition, and I think that would be fair because nobody can say that Ryan's fighting the same level of competition that Gervonta is. Nobody's even arguing that. So if Gervonta's fighting B-level, because there's not a lot of A-level competition at 135 anyway. It would be different if there was a lot of A-level competition there. There's really just him, Ryan, Haney, Shakur. Now, there's other names, and you Vasile as well, and then Kambosa. But they're outside of those 6. There's not enough competition for him to even really campaign at 135 for another year. I mean, if he fought Haney and then Shakur, there ain't nobody left for him to fight at 135. And if he fights Haney, that means Haney beat Lomachenko, and there would be no reason for him to fight Loma at that point. Now, like I said in my previous video, there's still a little bit of incentive for Shakur to fight Loma, but there's really no incentive for Davis to be fighting Loma if Haney beats him. You know, they're already going to be done with Loma at that point. I know a lot of people are making it a 50-50 fight, but you got to look past Loma and his talent and start looking at the big picture. And I say that because look at Bob Arum's track record. He was even done basically with Floyd Mayweather at one point. Now I know a lot of people would say that Mayweather left him. I would beg to differ with that. I would say that Bob didn't want to invest in Floyd the way Floyd wanted Bob to invest in him, which means Bob was basically done with him. I think Bob had Pacquiao had just picked Pacquiao up or something at that time, and he knew what he had in Pacquiao. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, who would take Pacquiao? Actually, Pacquiao was Floyd wasn't the same Floyd when he was with Bob as he was when he created his character of Money Mayweather. And Pacquiao was a global superstar. I've talked about this before. Mayweather he's a global superstar, but not the way a Manny Pacquiao is a global superstar. Not the way Muhammad Ali was a global superstar. He's a global superstar, but those guys are icons in and outside of the ring. You know, it's not just a boxing thing. Over the past 10 years, the majority of the world has forgotten about Floyd Mayweather, and that's just how I feel about the situation. So I think it's different when you talk about, and when you look at Loma, you got to understand, what does Bob have to gain from Loma other than matching him up with Shakur at some point, you know? And I think if Loma was to lose to Devin, he would still get matched up with Shakur. They would still face him up with Shakur because it would be an in-house fight. Now, I don't think Loma gets pushed back to that level basically because of Bob Arum and how he's treated fighters in the past. And what I was getting at was, he even did Pacquiao the same way. Once he was done with Pacquiao, even though Pacquiao still had enough talent to beat Matisse, Broner, Jesse Vargas, Keith Thurman, and give a knockout, drag-out performance with Ordanius Ugas, you know, Bob Arum was done with him. You know, he was commanding too much money, so, you know, it just was what it was, man. So, you know, it's not that Loma doesn't have the talent to beat a Shakur or Gervonta or you know, some of these other guys. It's just that Bob Arum's pretty much done with him. And when you look at the rest of the division, like I was saying earlier, that's not enough talent within the division, high-level talent, for Gervonta to stick around 135 for another year. He would only have a Devin fight. He's going to fight Ryan in a week. Then you got a Devin fight, and then you got a Shakur Stevens fight. Who's he going to fight after that? George Kambosos? I mean, there's no reason for him to fight George Kambosos. There's no reason for him to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. There's no reason for him to fight some of these younger guys when he can move up to 140, 5 more pounds, which he could easily make, fight Josh Taylor and probably double what he's making right now, and probably even double what he would make from a Devin Haney fight or a Shakur fight. You know, the more you move up, the more money you're gonna make. So that just is what it is, man. It's just that's a no-brainer right there. There's more money up in weight than there is sticking around your own weight class and waiting for some younger guys to become popular. You know, you're eventually gonna wait yourself out. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now, man. Rest in peace to my aunt, man. She passed away a couple of days ago. Sad event, but it's a part of life, man. So rest in peace to her. Y'all send some prayers up. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now. Y'all holler at me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely to get a response on YouTube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, hit my Gmail. My Gmail is flockofcards@gmail.com. And we are Manny.
It seems these motherfuckers still don't know. I'ma call this freestyle my cash flow. Tighter than a belt on the last hoe. Kidel Castro. Whenever the females ask for the lasso, send them to the nigga that sag low. I brag so motherfuckers know about mine. Breathe smoke when I'm spitting like it's cold outside. Niggas stressed out cause his baby mama is with me. With another chick they acting like Madonna and Britney. See I'm a legit G, so I'ma eventually have both of my palms on the city. Now y'all get pissy when I stop it like blocking your kidney. Leonardo da Vinci at the top of the century. Flow so artistic. Y'all niggas been the same for years like Bart Simpson. So you can't politely bite me. Now who you know is nice is Mike T. Precisely. And I'm on the go. Blowing them trees when I'm on the road. DJ spin it and they on the flow. But it seems these motherfuckers still don't know about the nigga named Keys coming off the block. Still spitting hot flows off the top. Got the girls in the telly getting off the chain. The nigga named Lewis Keys finna change the game. You won't beef, prepare for the devil. Put a dot right on your eyebrow like Ern Neville. It's a purring, I'm a rebel. Knock you off, break bread with your parents to settle. Out of court, every forgot me all out of sorts. Up north, they wetting up them new ports. But down here, they putting syrup on blacks. That city county merger got the sheriff on your back, along with the LPD. Still see me sitting low, getting blowed in the LTD. With a thick chick looking like Diamond's twin. With the ginger ale mixed with the lime and gin. Shit it. See, I'm pepper with the words.